y'all ain't gonna say nothing now. Because guess what? Ain't none of you sitting here would really appreciate that if it was happening to you. If people going in, read your mail, go to the post office, and bring your letter to you open, and start telling you what's on your letter. Or tell you how much your check is before you even get it and look at it. Ah, boy, I couldn't live like that. Ain't no way in the world. I mean, I feel burning all over me just saying it. I would have some major problems. You know, and everybody got their own ways, but that's called privacy. You know. So that's just the way it is. You know, it's the way it is. God said don't trust what? Don't trust prayer. Don't, and that's on a person's presence. So you don't walk in on somebody uninvited. You don't waste a person's what? Time. You don't interrupt their privacy. I don't go to Teddy's house and turn his TV. Hello, I'm serious. Y'all don't understand. I'm dead serious. Why do it look like somebody come to your house, knock on your door, soon as they walk in and sit down, you look at that TV, they reach over, grab the remote, start turning the TV in your house.
I would lose my mind, honestly.
And yet, some people don't have enough sense to know that that's a what? That's a sin. That's a sin. It's a sin for me to go in my own house and my wife watching TV, and I just jump and grab the remote and start turning the TV. Hello?
Amen.
You got to learn how to, what he's teaching you here is how to respect each other's what? Rights and stuff. He's teaching you how to be respectful. You know, there are things that people do that I could not live with. You don't wear my clothes. You don't put my stuff on. You don't put my clothes on. And yet people say, now, and I'm glad God got me teaching this, because I've had people to tell me, you just got funny ways. There ain't nothing funny about that. And sure enough, if you're a leader, because what if Teddy write me a note and say, well, Pastor, I want you to pray about this. And I mess around there, I got to worry about it, because my staff has got nose problems. So the minute I lay it down on my desk, step to the bathroom, and they all read it. His personal, private what? You got to be able to have privacy when you lead the people. It ain't none of Sister Hester's business what you say to me in the office. That's not none of her what? See? That means Sister Lynn was sitting out there today talking. What it look like she walk up out there and soon what you and Lynn talking about? You know she said it. I don't need to be telling no lie about that. You would know she said that. Because my voice would ring from here all the way to heaven. What did you say? What did you ask me? Anybody understand? That is what? Private. Even though the conversation wasn't about that. We were talking about air conditioning, but you got to know not to do that. What she wanted. None of your what? business. Now that don't apply, folks. This dealing with ministry side of it. I'm simply trying to get you to see that you don't go to people's house answering their phone. You don't come to somebody's cell phone and go through it looking at their numbers and reading their messages. You don't go pick up somebody's bankroll, look around, see if anybody's looking, and count their money, see how much they got, and put it back. And then ask them, you got any money? And then the person say, I got a little bit, how much? They say a few dollars, 15 or 20. No, you don't, you got $200-something. I counted it. Prayer time. Prayer time, Teddy, prayer time. It doesn't happen. If I did that to my wife, she would feel what? Violated. Because a whole lot of time I be thinking she broke. Then I get mad because she wait till I ain't got a dime to my name, man. And then go to pulling out money, man. I'm just saying, you told me you ain't have nothing.
You started doing all the spending.
Yeah. And I can't find out if she got there because I can't go in her purse. You know what I'm saying? Everybody all right? But that's the sin of what? Trespass. So trespassing is not just going, but it's on people's time. Some people don't know when you know, people don't catch signals. People be steady saying, phew, I guess I'll go to bed now. Oh. And you just sit right on there. They're trying to tell you to what? Go home. You know?
I just tell them to go.
Go. There you go. Time for you to what? I'm going to go to bed. Well, that's all right. You going to bed. No, you leave. I'm not going to bed with you here. I'm telling you to go, because I'm going to go to what? Bob, I'm going to tell you that. I tell Bob them that I said, all right, Bob, go away. Don't go away mad now. Just go away. Just go away. Go home. Lock my door on your way out. Cut all my lights off as you pass it by. You see? Anybody understand? But you got to learn to, in other words, what God is teaching you here is how to respect other people. And when you don't do that, it's a what? No, it's a sin. It ain't no problem. That's what's wrong. Y'all see it as a problem and not for what God see it as. God said you just what? So some of y'all need to stop sinning. Now say it. Forgive us our what?
Forgive us our trespasses. And we give those against us.
Read. Go ahead, I'm telling you, read.
I want to, because some stuck out to me when I read verse 15 and I read If the soul commit a trespass and sin through ignorance in the holy things of the Lord. I looked up what the holy things of the Lord was. And when you look up that, the holy things of the Lord involves neglecting to pay tithe.
Neglecting to pay tithe.
Eating parts of the sacrifice that belong to the priest.
What are you doing? If you eat what belongs, if you don't give the man of God what belongs to what? Him, that's trespass.
When it was talking about that.
Keep going.
Failing to redeem the firstborn.
Failing to give your first fruit. Your firstborn. Failing to pay tithe. That's a sin. How many of you heard people say, it ain't no sin to pay tithe, not to pay tithe, you just curse. That's the holy things of God.
It said, when you did that, not only did you sin, but you had to pay restitution, had to be made, and it said a penalty had to be paid equal to a fifth part of the value of whatever it was, whether it was your tithe or whether you ate.
In other words, let's say your tithe was $100 and you failed to pay it. Then your tithe became $120. That's the fifth part. Because you divide 100 into 5 what? Parts. And it takes 5 20s to make a what? So your tithe go from $100 to $120 because you trespassed. You stole in the holy things of what?
God.
God. That's the Bible. And when you get over that further, it tells you that. This ain't y'all first time hearing that. But usually what happens? Ain't nobody gonna pay the penalty. Especially the person that stole their tithe. How God gonna get an extra 20 out of you when he couldn't get the 100?
Amen.
Anybody see it now? Because people that gonna pay their tithe gonna what?
Pay him.
The thief ain't gonna pay it. He don't care if God tell him it's 100% penalty. He doesn't what? Because if he cared about the penalty, then he already know that he's cursed with the what? The heaven over you is stayed. The rain shall not rain on you. Dang, your fruit shall fall off the vine for its time. If none of those things scare you, see? So you're not going to worry about, well, I owe God $10 and I didn't give it to him. So now I got to give him 12. You say what? He ain't getting the 10 or the 2. See? Come on. Read. No, they shall bring for his trespass under the Lord
a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation thy shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for a trespass offering.
See that? Now God says what? You don't bring a ram, but you estimate the value of his word. So let's say somebody gave Lynn 10 cows. She doesn't bring a cow down here and say, "Prop, huh? Got a cow for you." What she do instead is estimate the value of the cow and give the what? Money. That's what the Lord just said. So he wouldn't expect Jackie to get 10 live chickens and then walk in here with a chicken all tied up, talking about, "I brought my tithe here. Here's your tithe." God says what? Well, what a chicken sell for in the store? About $6? $5? Then God says what? Bring a what? Bring $5 and say what? Well, somebody gave me 10 live chickens, but here's $5. That's what a chicken costs in the what? That's why he says, don't go and try to you don't even expect it to be exact. He said what? Estimate. Anybody see it now?